I don't think that we should put this stigma or this ideology or expectation even on people that say that they're ready to be married and they are not 30. They are not 35.
I didn't give up on marriage, but it definitely got to the point for a while where I was just like, I'm not finna rush into nothing because the dating pool really got pee in it. Y'all better stop ignoring them red flags.
Listen.
If y'all don't stand for something, you gonna fall for anything. Don't lower your standards.
A lot of people say that women mirror what men are doing to and for them. So like if you are giving us, this hard cutthroat type stuff, whether that's, not taking care of business, you talking to us any kind of way, you doing anything, we're going to be that same thing. We're going to give back to you what you're giving to us.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to TAKE2 podcast, a new chapter where we are your hosts, Josh
and Janae.
And y'all, today we are back with another podcast episode for y'all. We hope y'all really enjoyed that first one because, it was a pretty good one. Yeah, honestly, we got a couple clips out of it that we ended up putting on TikTok and Instagram. So y'all can go back and look at those little clips, or y'all can go back and watch the whole podcast episode. Yes. Y'all choice, whatever y'all want to do. So y'all, today we got a couple good topics that we gonna talk about and touch base on, and we just gonna go from there.
Let's vibe.
Yep. We gonna vibe today, but we know that we are, since we are Christian babies, we gotta start off with a word of prayer for the peoples. You know what I'm saying? So whose turn is it?
It's your turn. It's your turn.
It's your turn.
I did it last time. We're not doing this.
Okay, close your eyes and bow your head. Nah. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for another opportunity to be able to speak life into others. Mm-hmm. We pray for everybody who's watching this podcast right now. We pray that whatever comes out of our mouth will be able to influence and be able to speak life into the person who's listening to this podcast right now. In your son, Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So,
praise talks to his Savior.
Anyways. So, how you feeling?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
I'm tired. We shouldn't have took a nap. Y'all, we took a nap today.
Needed it.
At like 4, and it's currently 6:13. We got back up at 5, and y'all, I feel drained.
I feel good. That's why you being mean.
I am not being mean.
Yes.
But you got to hold the mic up a little bit closer to you. Yeah. Because I can see the sound waves, not as high for you as it is for me. But, so, yeah, I'm tired, though. But I got our little trivia thing for today.
Okay.
Did you know that avocados are a fruit?
No.
That's weird. It say in Spain and Mexico, avocados are called alligator pears.
Must be because it's green.
It's because it's bumpy green skin. Because of their shape being bumpy and its green skin. In India and China, they are referred to as butter pears.
Probably because they use it so heavily, as like a spread.
Yeah, I don't know.
In some places.
That's very interesting.
To me, avocado does not have a taste.
It's
just thick, kind of. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I heard it's good for you. But
I've never really had it before. I know when I was in Mexico, though, they had this avocado sauce that they would put on the tacos.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It wasn't just straight avocado. It was like it didn't even have the same texture. It was literally like
a sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it was pretty good though when I had it.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan,
I mean, I ain't a huge fan of it either, but
trying new things is always good, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. So you ready to jump right in?
Let's jump in.
Because what else we here for? Okay. So the first question is, how do you feel about this? Or what are your thoughts? Is there a good age to get married?
No. I mean, I don't think there is like a a good age to get married. I think it's kind of like with any other huge milestone in life, like having a baby, anything. Like, how do you know that you're ever really ready? I don't think you can ever like 100% be ready. Some things you just have to step into that and experience it. Like, I don't think there's a right age. Like, some people get married at 21, some people get married at 50. And just because they got married at 21, that might have been their time. You got married at 50, that was probably your time. I don't think that, and I hate when people do that too. They be like, you know, take your time, experience, you know, your life, go out, travel, have fun. And that, like, it's cool, but people don't really understand that, like, you can have a ton of fun while being married.
Yeah.
Like, I think the difference is the fun that they're thinking that they're going to have doesn't involve commitment. So, like, the fun that they want to have doesn't involve commitment. Good. So, instead of them settling down with a person and having fun with that person,
it's giving single outside. Yeah.
They want to be out in the streets. They don't want to settle down. They don't want to commit. They don't want to, you know, some people just like that attention. When they step out, go into a bar, club, anything like that, they like that female or male attention coming to them, and they know that they're not supposed to do that when being married.
Yeah. And that's their fun.
Yeah, that's their fun.
Yeah.
That's never my fun.
Yeah.
And I'm 27, and I that's just, you know, that's never my fun.
So I think that we can draw the conclusion that there's different. It's all in like what it is that you want, I think.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I guess it depends. For me, fun for me is traveling and eating at new restaurants and things like that. That's fun to me. Going places I've never been before. And fun to other people, like
our age.
Yep. It would be like fun for other people is probably like going to clubs and bar hopping and drinking and stuff like that. Like, nothing about that to me is fun.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I would rather just settle down.
And that's something that the two of us, like, we really agreed on that. Like, yeah, we were like, we are one and the same when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah. But I would have to agree with you that it's not really a age where you like ready, because it was actually a second part to that question, which was, is anyone ever truly ready for marriage?
If you've never been married before, probably not.
Yeah.
If you've never been married before, like previously, how would you ever be ready for something you've never done before in your life? Like, you could say, like, are you ready? Even with going to college, are you ready to go to college? You've been through 12 years of school
at home,
and even when you go to college, it's still a whole different experience.
It's in the world, yeah.
So you could have been in 10 relationships, and then you finally want to settle down and get married, and you think you're ready because you experienced 10 relationships. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's definitely not true.
It's
totally
different ball game.
It's a whole different ball game because now you've made these vows, and now you're making this commitment to be by this person's side through thick and thin, and now you're living with this person. Now you're experiencing a whole different level with this person versus, you know, a little relationship and things like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Me personally, I don't feel like you can be 100% ready for marriage. Sometimes you just gotta, if you're healed and, you know, you have a good head on your shoulders mentally and you're emotionally aware and ready to commit, then I think you can, you know, settle down and go for it. But there's no way you're 100% ready. Nobody's perfect, so you won't be 100% ready.
And it's like that with anything, whether it's getting married, being a parent. I'm not a parent yet, but I do know that you're never actually ready, because literally every day is something that we've never seen before.
It's different.
So anything can happen at any moment on any day, let alone being married or being a parent or being, even if it's a job, a career, it's all new. So, like, but I don't think that we should put this stigma or this ideology or expectation even on people that say that they're ready to be married and they are not 30. They are not 35. Don't put it, because that weight and that, it's like people don't, especially our people, black people, that we don't listen to each other. Like, when it comes to, and a lot of the times we can make our relatives, our community, our people feel like, well, you really don't know what you're talking about because you've never been here. Well, duh. But so you're going to shoot me down because clearly I may just be ready. But you shooting me down because you weren't in this spot at my age.
It may be more ready than the person who's telling you.
That to not do it.
It's usually always people who's not married too that will try to influence you and be like, take your time.
You giving up on something, you missing out.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, and I might not be. I'm not 40. I ain't 50. I ain't 60. I have not experienced all of life yet. But me personally, I just feel like there is nothing out here in these streets to experience. I don't know why people say things like that. I can understand the take your time thing with finding the right person. Mm-hmm. But as far as me being mentally ready to be married, that doesn't change that.
Yeah.
It's just all in me being with the right person.
And honestly, it's a big part of the population that actually wants to be married. And I think that's why, because it's also a mass that population that's not. And so you got a tug of war between people that's like, I'm ready to be with somebody. I'm doing what I got to do to make myself, to be prepared to be a wife, to be a husband. You got people that's out there that's really like that for real. Then you got the other ones that's just like, I couldn't care less about what happens today. So it's just so much. And those people connect faster than the ones that are mutually ready. Like me and you is a rarity. And I am 100% sure of that. Very rare. The way we think about things, the way we are in general, is just like, what? I thought I was in this by myself. Like,
it definitely started feeling like the dating pool had pee in it. Like, for the longest, I was starting to just feel like, I didn't give up on marriage because, as some of y'all might know, I was previously married. But like we stated in the last video, we're both previously married.
Yeah.
But I didn't give up on marriage, but it definitely got to the point for a while where I was just like, I'm not finna rush into nothing because the dating pool really got pee in it. Like, it's people out here that's really manipulating. They're narcissists. They're betraying people, like that type of stuff.
They want the title, but not what comes with that level of commitment, at all. Like you said.
I feel like that's what I dealt with too in my first marriage. And I ain't finna go into too much detail about that. But I felt like it was more just about the glitz and glamour, not, what actually comes with being married. Mm-hmm. Marriage is not. I don't want to, because I hate that saying too when people say marriage is not easy.
It can be.
But it can be. It's just all in the matter of you being with the right person. Mm-hmm. Not saying, now when I say easy, that don't mean that y'all never gonna argue.
Apart. Yeah.
That don't mean that y'all gonna be peaches and cream where y'all just never gonna have a bad day.
But the things that people make hard really can be. All it is really just about being mature and wanting that end goal to be forever.
Yeah.
If you don't want it to be that, it won't.
A lot of people lack that.
Yeah.
Like, they just, I don't know. Like,
and I think also, and this is, because like we said, we can really expound on this topic a lot, but I think that when it comes to people and they say like, oh, I want to be married and this and that what the willingness to change, because really whenever you're talking about something like that, a new step, a new chapter like that, you're going to have to shed some of your ways to pick up on something that's better. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to be comfortable with, well, this is just who I am. No, I hate that. I've been like this all of my life. That's the problem. What's wrong with a little change?
That's so irritating. That is probably the most irritating thing that I've ever heard, when people be like, I'm not changing for nobody. I'm not finna let no man change me. I'm not letting no woman change me. Y'all don't understand that a lot of times change is for the good. Y'all be so stuck in y'all ways, and that's why a lot of people be single for so long, be old and just single, because you so stuck in your ways. When you give your life to Christ, do you keep doing the same thing you did before you gave your life to him? Mm-mm. You change. So when you give your life over, when you make that commitment and get married and y'all become one, you're just gonna keep doing the same things you've been doing before you got married.
And because me and you have already talked about this, I know where you stand, but just a question for them. What good is it to be in a relationship with somebody and you have this guard up? You don't want to change. What good is it? You might as well be by yourself. If you aren't going to allow that person to come into your life to influence, not to change you and make you do things and put you in positions that's going to hurt you. But if you don't want to welcome them in to help you get to somewhere you've never been, what are they there for?
And honestly, being that type of person where you got your guard up and you don't want to change, you're not only wasting your time, you're wasting that other person's time extremely bad. That person really could be doing anything else with their life, but you're sitting there wasting it by having this guard up, and they're trying to get to you and trying to like love you correctly, trying to be that person for you, but you don't want to change.
And that also, because now we're ready to go somewhere. Because you definitely can, when you're with someone that's like that and they don't want to change, you will spend so much time trying to aid, trying to nurture, trying to get them to see potential that you see, trying to get them. You're not going to grow. So those situations, and again, we are not talking from places that we've never been. That full blown, I can honestly say, was me. You sit and you just try to keep, you going to be spinning your wheels. You're not going to get anywhere. You won't. Then that's when you're going to get the I told you so's from the people that say, well, you weren't really ready for marriage. And da-da. It wasn't that I wasn't. It wasn't probably that you weren't. But it was literally just not having that person, because you can't be married and it's just you doing all of the work.
But that's why it is 100%, 100,000% essential that you have a relationship with God and that you are tapped in.
Listen.
Because when people say that, you're not ready, you're too young, you could very well be ready, but you could be giving all of that energy to the wrong person. So you could be ready, but the opposing party is not ready at all. So that can make you look stupid in the end if you're not tapped in for real and you ain't get that confirmation from God and you make a step that you shouldn't have made.
Yep, prematurely.
And now you look crazy.
Backfires, yes.
Now it did backfire
a major
on you.
Lesson.
So now the person that was saying all that you're not ready and that you should wait and take your time looks like they're right.
Yeah.
When they may not have been right about you, but that
the situation
in the opposing party was definitely they were right about that person. So it's I don't know, honestly, it's really kind of scary when you out in the dating world for real, unless you really like tapped in for real.
And then I think that when you do have self-awareness to know what it is that you want and know the way that you want it, you won't bypass a lot of red flags. Also, some things definitely should be non-negotiables, like the things that is like, I wouldn't want to deal with that for real, but you would toss it and be like, oh, I'm gonna just look the other way type thing. Those are the things that should be non-negotiables for real. Don't lower those standards, because listen,
y'all better stop ignoring them red flags.
Listen,
if y'all don't stand for something, you gonna fall for anything. Don't lower your standards,
because those things will, and they're not. And when you notice them, especially if you notice them when you dating, they gonna magnify when you married.
A piece of paper is not going to change the person you are with. A ring is not going to change a person that you are with.
And please don't ever think a child. That's the worst thing. And like I said, I don't have one, but that's the worst thing, because now you're getting this is a total innocent individual. They have nothing to do
messing that baby
with
up.
Messing them up. And for what? Because you thought that it was going to help? No, it's not going to make somebody that was already immature mature. What? They can't even look themselves or you in the face. How they gonna look? Please, that's a whole nother different story for a whole nother different day. But because I'll be talking about that. Listen,
that can preach right there.
And look,
yes sir.
Okay, please don't. But it was something that I was gonna say. You might have to spin a block on me. You might have to take it, because it was a question I was gonna ask, or a statement. that I was gonna make, but I can't remember what it was. It was another part of the question though. I can ask.
What's that?
If you would like. So, when you know is a statement that is bouncing all over the social media walls, including ours. So with that being said, would you say that there's a proper length to date before marriage?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Absolutely not. And like every time when we posted our last video and we were talking about we are not married yet.
No, we're not.
We are not married yet. Not yet. Could we be? Absolutely. There's not a time frame that you have to be dating to know that it's time to, get married. I remember my grandparents telling me a story about some of their best friends. My grandparents, for you that don't know or didn't watch the last video, they were pastors, and they had some best friends that are also pastors in Flint. And their best friends had met and started dating, engaged, and married within 3 months of knowing each other. Were married 50 plus years before her husband passed away. Never divorced. Probably like 3 or 4 children. Just a whole beautiful life. Had a whole church congregation, everything, pastor's wife, and lived a long, successful marriage before he passed away. Out of 3 months of knowing each other, not 3 months of dating, 3 months of knowing each other as a whole. So, like I said, within that 3 months, they met, started dating, got engaged, and married 50 plus years. Now, am I saying that that's everybody's story? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is there is no specific time frame. But that ties back to me saying that you have to be tapped in with God on a certain level that you know that when he speaks to you and gives you that confirmation, then that's when you know. When you know, you know. Also, it's also a feeling that you will feel within yourself too. Like when I was saying on the last video about when I spoke with her dad and he asked me that what were my intentions with his daughter, and I said that I want to marry her. That was about 4 months into the picture, like of us meeting, dating, all of that. It was about 4 months in, and no, we didn't get married at 4 months.
Right.
But I knew. Just because everybody who knows within that time frame don't get married at that time frame.
Yeah.
But it don't take forever. It don't. I'm so tired of seeing like YouTube. It's such a bad influence. It's so bad, and we got so many young people watching these people that are doing YouTube, and they got kids together and a house together. They doing all these things together, but they're not married.
Yeah.
How does that look? How can you?
It's not a put down to make these people look away or as if we better than it. It's nothing like that. But it just goes to show you that it seems like it's a real fear when it comes to that level of commitment. But having kids is not one. That's a topic that we're going to discuss later because that deserves its own full video, literally.
That's crazy.
Because why and how can we commit in those ways? But because y'all do know legally, I'm going to say this right here, even though we're going to jump back. But you do know that legally, if something happens to that partner, you're irrelevant. You do know that, right?
No, like literally.
The mama is going to come before you. The daddy going to come before you. But you the one that got this mansion. You got the kids. You got the cars. You got the clothes. You got the watch. You got all that. And they ain't going to be able to help you because they're dead. So, and run the clip back a little bit. We done seen it happen with some of these celebrities. Yeah. It's not a joke. But like y'all think it's just a piece of paper until it's time to slide some across the table and get some stuff arranged. I don't understand. Yeah,
it's overall it's not a good look, and like I don't be judging nobody. I don't, to be getting up on here talking about people and stuff. But like it's not a good look whatsoever. It's time that, especially as a young people, it's time to start being that positive influence again on marriage. Like we got to get out of that. It does not take no man 6, 7, 8 years.
And women, we shouldn't be that comfortable with even having to wait that long.
Why are you even sitting there Like,
and I'm waiting on you to get ready, and
that ties back into how they were raised.
Yeah.
Did they have their father in the picture when they were growing up? Were they raised with those morals and values? Were they raised in church? Because some people just don't. Some people just may not know.
Yeah.
But some people know, but because they didn't have that father figure there to show them how a man should really treat them and what a man should really do for them.
Yeah. And even when it comes to, because like when we talked, we told y'all to watch The Ultimatum, we saw a lot of times on that show that abandonment was a lot of the people that were not ready.
Yeah, it was a lot of reasons.
It was abandonment and fear was the main reason. I just don't know if I should. Like, you're one person, but it's billions of people in the world. Like, I mean, duh. But that's what finding your one person is about. It separates them from all of these people. I'm going to commit to you. I'm choosing to commit my life to you. So it's like,
I don't know. People just make marriage seem like this big, spooky, scary thing that's like gonna haunt you forever, every day. Like,
and I love the fact. I just want to shine a little light on this moment, because we could be really, like we said before in the last video, but from a different perspective. Right now, we could be very afraid.
Yeah.
Because we've already been there. But I think that's what it was I was gonna say. Early on, when we first started talking, me and you found it very, not strange, I would say distinctive, that we connected on the fact that we were both ready to be husband and wife at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what actually helps us now, because it's like, I'm not afraid to be that again because it failed before.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to do it again. No, there's not. I mean, wasting time, like I said before in the last video, is a big thing for the both of us. But just to be like, oh no, I'm never doing it again. No.
And see, that's what I was saying. Like in the last video, with us being previously married, we look at a lot of things in a different perspective. Mm-hmm. We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
So we know what is a red flag in our eyes and what is something that we could work through. Something that's, everything is not a red flag, bro. Like, if you look at every situation as a red flag, you will be single for the rest of your life.
Honestly.
Because everybody has issues. Everybody has things that they're healing from. Everybody, and people are always changing and evolving. The world is always going round and round and round. So everybody is changing. Mm-hmm. When you get with a person, 10 years later, they may not be the same person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, as their human self, overall, they might be, the same, but interests change. Shoot, hey, your taste buds change. So, like, what you expect? Just because they like steak 10 years ago,
cannot change evolution.
Don't mean that they're going to like steak 10 years from then. Like, that's...
And then when you commit to a person, you're committing to that also. Those changes and the things that y'all probably did together, they might not be interested anymore, but does that mean that they're a castaway now? No.
Yeah, nah. But like, that's what I'm saying. That ties into us being previously married before. We know what to look at, that we can actually tolerate, what's okay, what we can move past, and what's completely just out of, that's a non-negotiable. Like that. This is not.
And it also will make you, once you start, and you on a journey to whether it's healing or even discovery, you start to ask yourself questions. I know I did. You start to ask yourself questions like, so why do I think the way that I think? Why do I see everything as a red flag? Why do I see everyone else has the issue and not me? You really will start to question, or at least you should. If it's a real journey to change,
mature person would.
Right. If it's a real journey to change, and you like, because of course it takes two. Yes, you get married, and whenever you divorce, something is going on with both. Because even if you weren't the one to be the aggressor, you were the one to allow yourself to be the victim. So it's always a way to look at it, because like, why did I think that was okay for me to take?
Yeah.
Why did I think that it was okay to keep making everyone else have a comfortable life except me? These are things that people don't like to talk about. It's not always about pointing the finger at somebody, but what did you allow? So it's like, these are real things, and it ain't always nice when you got to sit in that seat and start to do some evaluating. Because
self-evaluation is definitely something that's hard for a lot of people. People would they always want to look at the other person and pinpoint what their wrongdoings were. They don't ever want to look at themselves and be like, you know what? Yeah, that that's all fine and dandy. They did what they did, but like, what did I bring to the table? What did I do wrong that could have affected this relationship or marriage? Or that's something that with us though is definitely a plus to what I'm used to, is because I'm usually always the apologetic one. I've always been the apologetic one. In every situation, I'm always trying to fix it. I'm always trying to apologize and make things right. That's just who I am, because I'm not a real person of conflict. I don't like all that. So when there is an issue, because I understand that there will be issues, I always try to fix them real quick. But like I'm quick to be like, to apologize and try to fix it and figure out what the issue is and all that. But I've never received that.
Yeah, I'm always the one to like just think stuff through. Like, well, I want to see what I'm the type of person that likes to put before I ask. Like, well, how do I feel about something? I'm thinking like, well, what could make them feel like that? What did I do? I'm instantly thinking about the other person, and that's both good and bad. Even being apologetic sometimes, because it's like, I'm not the one. Why do I always have to do it? Or why do I, you know what I'm saying? But that's what happens when you are not always dealing with people that's mature all the time.
Yeah.
And some of that is trauma for me.
And my thing be like, people who are not apologetic, that like
pride is
you gotta be. It's one thing to be unapologetic, but there's a whole nother side to that. That's like, we are adults and we know when we do and say things wrong. If you willingly continue to go days and days knowing that you have said something wrong, you have done something wrong to the next person, and you don't apologize, there's a deeper underlying issue with you.
Yeah.
Because what would even let you rest at night? What would even let you go on with your daily activities?
Especially if you say you love a person.
As if nothing happened, as if nothing is going on. How can you, like she said, especially if you say that you love a person, if you do something wrong to a person that you claim you love and you can't apologize, you can't be the bigger person when you know you've done something wrong, then my question is, do you really love that person?
I'm telling you, there's been moments, and even because we are very transparent enough to say, like, okay, it's not always going to be peaches and cream, and it doesn't mean that we won't have arguments and different stuff like that. But when you learn in a person and stuff, like, we've already had different moments where it's like, all right, now, come down a little bit out that high horse. Like, it gets it might be uncomfortable. And one thing about it, like, when you have somebody that's really for you, you're going to be willing to, like, let me just kind of, like, coach you through it. You might not see what the other person is seeing. So let me just help you. And I think from seeing it that way, like, knowing that I know the Bible says that, women are the helpmate and all that type of stuff. But not even just that. But allowing you to be that help for me, it helps me to be able to be like, all right, you know what? Okay. Like, And it really depends on your partner, because you got the ones that'll provoke you and make you want to choke the mess out of them. Man. But when you with somebody and it's like, no, we're really like, we're friends, we're best friends, we really love each other for real, it makes those moments a lot easier.
So much easier.
And we can't. When we get into it, it's like, listen, before this night end, this going to have to be done. Yeah. Because we can't, it's just like, it will eat you up when you really care for real.
And that's what I'm saying. How could you claim that you love a person and that don't eat you up inside? You go on like nothing is even happening. Like a ghost. You have a serious issue that you need to get taken care of. Don't die. Right. Please don't die. Because you know where you're going. Listen. Please don't die. I'm begging you, don't die, because that ain't good. It's not cool at all.
And like, being in this relationship is one of the most healthiest environments I've ever been in to grow. Ever. Okay? I just want to make that known.
And that's what my mama was talking about too at the table yesterday, that like being with a person who enhances you, who helps you grow. That makes all the difference. A lot of y'all be getting with people who bring
Just
you down, they
because of
bog
an
you down.
aesthetic
Yeah, like aesthetically, y'all look decent together,
Uh-huh.
but how does that
Everything is
look
off.
for?
Yeah, everything is off. You're not comfortable. You can't have conversations. Your entire being has to change just to try to make this one person happy. You are not even yourself no more. What type of no?
And that's what I'm be
I've
talking.
been there, done that.
That's what I be talking about with like these, YouTubers and social media couples. They're so caught up in the aesthetics that mentally they're depressed.
Yeah.
Emotionally, they're drained. They're taking their physical down as well, because like you sitting up here trying to make a image to us.
Yeah.
We don't care. We don't care. You ought to be worried about your own well-being, because you ain't driving nobody into the ground but yourself.
In all aspects. Please, in this day and age, your mental and emotional state has to be the most, outside of having a relationship with God, like the most important treasure. Value it.
And that goes,
because if those are not up here,
that got to be one of your top priorities.
You done.
And that goes for everything. That ain't just relationships.
Yeah.
That's family. That's work.
Man.
Because a lot of times
you're nothing without either of those.
Yeah.
If that mental not intact, you can forget it.
Man, y'all
be depressed for a day.
And I'm going to say this because I just experienced it recently. Y'all better not let these jobs take your mental. You need to focus on your own mental stability. And if your job has been causing you to be mentally unstable for a length of time, A, fix it. B, fix it and find another job. Because, listen, it's not worth it at all. Same thing with relationships. I'm not telling you just be hopping from one person to the other. But if you had that conversation with that person and ain't nothing changing, move on.
Because understand this: if they can repeat to you what you said to them during the conversation, that means you heard me. But you can't apply what I said. We straight.
Because listen,
that is the biggest slap in the face.
I'm gonna tell y'all now: stop trying to stick with a person for some other reason. Like y'all be trying to stick with a partner because of a baby, or y'all trying to stick with a partner because y'all got this image, or y'all trying to stick with a partner because y'all pastors,
out your business,
or stuff like that. Like, listen, nobody cares about that.
You sleeping beside that person if you married, or whatever. But
nobody
you sleeping with that person.
Nobody cares about that. I know I don't. Because listen, you need to be worried about your own happiness. Y'all, we hear it all the time. Only what you do for Christ will last. Meaning, who cares what anybody else think? Who cares what you doing for anybody else? That don't even matter. Only what you do for Christ will last. And guess what? Only what you do for yourself is gonna matter when it comes down to being in a relationship with in any of that. Because y'all need to stop worrying about other people and that visual look of y'all. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, because one thing about being depressed, it's so many different levels of unraveling. When you're an overthinker, and again, I'm not talking from a place I ain't never been. So I've been there more than once. So it's like when you will start thinking at the top of your day, you know what? Dang, how did I get here? Listen, by the end of that one thought, you somewhere like, wait a minute, how did I even get here? Because like, God, now you beating yourself up. Now you doing this. Now you doing, and ain't none of that gonna fit. It's very good, and I've learned this, that it's good to evaluate, but don't beat yourself up about that stuff. You learn from it, yes. But sitting there and just being like, oh my God, how did I get here? Now I'm the worst person. And if I never would have did this and listen to it, that's not going to fix a thing. Just don't do it again. Because, listen, we both, like I said, we know we've learned certain things from certain situations. And the best way to show that you learned the lesson is to not repeat what's given to you. Don't repeat it.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch base too on that apology thing again, on being apologetic. A lot of people will take an apology, they'll throw it at you, but still repeat and do the same things.
Yeah.
The best apology is change behavior. Don't throw me no I'm sorry and think that everything is done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgive you, but now you got to work yourself back into this. You're not finna, that's not how that works. Yeah. I don't just forgive and then just act like nothing ever happened. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to forgive you because that's the godly and Christian thing to do. But don't think that ain't no change behavior coming behind that. Yeah. You not finna, not with me.
And that's a big thing as well. I don't know. We can talk about that. Hit us up in the comments, DMs, all that type of stuff. Is this something that we only do in the Black community? I really want to know. Is it something that we do in the Black community where we just go on like nothing has happened? Because what is that? I have the straightest face right now because I can't believe that we think that that's okay. Why do we and we are going to talk about stuff so deep to the point where it has to do with a parental standpoint with children, because kids should be owed apologies. I don't care what age they are, but it's a lot of things that we've adapted to in our culture that is not right. And it's like somebody got to talk about it.
Yeah, because I'm not going to speak for, white people, but yeah, I know in the Black community.
We know for sure. That's the thing.
I know for a fact.
Yeah.
Their parents do not apologize to their children.
They get mad, and then it's like, that's it. Well, but what did you do? How are you asking me what did I do? And wait a minute. So did I bring myself into this world? Because we hear that all the time. I brought you in this world, I take you out. Okay, so you did that. But now that my feelings are hurt, my feelings don't matter. But I have to come to you. I'm confused.
It's super selfish, too.
It is.
It's very selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, all those things, because you don't want to miss out on the stuff that we will be talking about.
Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff for this podcast to talk about,
and it's real.
Yeah, stuff that not only we, heard about. This is stuff that we've witnessed. Stuff that we've lived.
Yeah.
Things that we have experienced. We not finna talk to y'all about nothing that we ain't actually experienced.
Yeah. So this is not a facade. It's not a put on, like none of that. We are just 28, 27-year-old adults navigating through life's experiences. Mm-hmm. Not everything ain't bad, but it's like once we start noticing certain things and you don't want to pass those. No.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, the whole point of this podcast is to be able to talk about things that, first of all, needs to be spoken on. Yeah. Because especially with our generation, we got a lot of people who are dealing with certain things that nobody talks about. Mm-hmm. It's a hard conversations that nobody wants to speak up on, and hearing it, I feel like from people like our age, talking to our age group is going to make a huge difference versus somebody who's 60 years old. And like, bro, you don't know, like, even though they've experienced 60 years of life, people our age is that, they want to talk to people like-minded, right, and that's close in proximity that can help.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us going through a lot of different things, we can think that we're the only ones. I know, even with topics like being a PK, stuff like that, we're both it's just, I just love it. I just love that we can connect on there's nothing that he really won't understand about me.
That was something too that just brought us so close together so fast. Mm-hmm. It's just the experience that we both had. Yeah. Not even just with being previously married, but growing up as PKs. Mm-hmm. I think the only experience that I haven't had that you've had is you got siblings and I don't.
Yeah. And being a parent.
Yeah, and me being a parent and her not being a parent. So like, but those are two things, but
I was a step
that's
parent.
Things that we can adapt to. And I have siblings technically on my dad's side. So it's still things that we've experienced, just not at the same capacity. Yeah. So like, she's experienced being a stepmother, not having her own, but I've experienced having siblings, but not whole siblings.
Yeah, like I have two siblings. Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just so many things that was just like tied together that brought us in so close that we can bond over real quick. And I felt like it was just.
And it's definitely, I think, a God thing to be able to connect us like that, the way that he did, to be able to even do things like this together, because it's like people will be like, okay, it makes sense. Like, y'all right, y'all really not just putting on, like, for real. Even though y'all don't know us, but like, okay, so he was a PK, she was a PK. He was divorced, she was divorced. Like, we both got married young. I was 21, you were 23.
Nah, I was 21, turning 22.
See,
I
had just turned 21 that year.
21. Yep, I was I 21 or 22? One of them, I had to have been 21, turning 22, because my birthday was like a month or two right after.
Oh, okay. Well, so, yeah, mine was a few prior, but
yeah. So like we both were like literally the same age when we got married. Everything.
Yeah,
it was
so many different things. So it's just like,
it was crazy. We bonded on so much within the first 3-4 months of us talking. We literally, from the moment we started texting, and being on the phone every day since then, I don't even think we missed a day.
I think it literally was one when you was out of town. Literally one day.
Where I didn't text you, period, all day? I'm talking about like we at least text or...
It was like a good morning. I think that was it. I think.
Still ain't missed a day.
But yeah, he didn't.
We was consistent.
When he came,
we was consistent. I was on vacation still, making sure I was like checking in. And we wasn't even in a relationship.
Yeah, we hadn't even met in person.
We haven't even met.
Well,
no, we did.
We met
right before.
Time, yeah,
it was like 2 days before I left out of town.
Before you left.
But still, for a person that you just met one time in person, 2 days before they went out of town, to be still that consistent.
And that was the biggest. It literally felt like a piece of me was like so far away.
Yeah, I was gone. I was all the way in Texas.
It so tough, y'all. Like he was having fun, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot.
I told you could have came.
We're not gonna go back into that, okay? Not right now.
Anyways.
But I felt him like gosh, and we weren't even in the same city then. So it was still like there was still long distance then, but just knowing you were all the way in Texas was just like, I cannot do this. Yeah. This is torture.
We were only a car ride away when we were both in Michigan.
This is torture. Like, but I couldn't.
And then I came back. I flew back and drove to her.
Yep. To have lunch with me.
Out the way. It was
fresh off the flight.
Man, I just got off the flight. And let me tell y'all, I live like an hour, 40, 50 minutes away from the airport. She still lives at least 30 minutes away from the airport, but it was outside of the range of me going home. So I drove all the way out the way, got her food, and came there.
He was so tired.
And then spent time with her and then went home.
We
still drove an hour and a half.
Listen, I'm telling y'all.
Listen, and I want to tell every lady
he will
on here that's watching, if a man really wants to, he will.
Yeah.
A man who really wants to is going to be 100% intentional behind you off rip.
Yeah.
He's not going to play no games with you. He's not going to be sitting up here trying to play on you and be trying to talk to other girls behind your back while he talking to you and lying and all that type of stuff. Ladies, y'all better stop letting these men manipulate y'all and do y'all like that.
And let me tell y'all another thing. And it's not that I was afraid to ask or really establish it, but I knew, I'm like, there's certain things I'm not going to do this with, with him. I just knew. And then you never really made it to where I had to anyways. Everything that a man is supposed to do, you've always done. But randomly, he was just like, okay, so what? I just want to ask you, like, are we exclusively dating? Are we what? He asked me. So again, ain't no situationships, ain't no none of that. Like, he let me know, okay, all right, that's it. And it wasn't even 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. And like I just,
for me, like I said from the beginning, it was on the video I think previously that we did. I knew like it wasn't I'm not talking to nobody else. Like, who are y'all? Yeah. And it's going to remain like that. Nobody else exists in this world but this one. Like,
I don't even see why men. I don't know what the hype is about that. Nothing about that is cute.
What?
About men wanting to talk to multiple women.
I don't know how people do it. That's been my thing. Like in college and stuff like that, I could not connect to a lot of the people that I was around because they'd be like, what? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, listen.
That's another dumb piece of advice.
Literally, like, y'all, from me and him, connect so much. Like, y'all, this is probably gonna raise a few eyebrows, but like bachelor party, neither one of us like that ideology. We don't like anything that it stands. I'm sorry, no, can't do it.
Not happening.
You bet not. If you gonna be a part of it, of this, we telling you right now. We telling y'all now. If you even have the thought, I mean, of course we gonna ask y'all all that type of stuff. But if you're watching, y'all gonna be looking for him. I'm gonna be with him.
Yeah, no, because that's dead.
For me,
that's dead. That last night of being single, man. Listen,
and you're not even single. You still engaged. 24.
Well, that's the thing. That's another dumb piece of advice. I'm saying, like, people think that, well, because legally, if you're not married, you're considered single. Bro. Listen,
I'm not with
at some point, y'all gotta stop with this lame advice.
For real,
y'all gotta stop.
Are we children?
It's always 100% the married people who say that. If you're not married, you single.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to you, hand clap, because you're married. But I'm in a committed relationship right now, and a lot of times that like, how would you even know that you want to marry a person if you don't go that deep into like committing to that one person? You don't. If you,
that's not fun. A lot of the stuff that goes on at those type of things are not fun. I want to be with him.
You're not ready to be married if you're doing that type of stuff.
I would be sitting in a corner somewhere. Literally.
You are not
calling you.
You are not ready to be married. If you still want to have bachelorette parties and stuff like that, like, listen, you might as well call a wedding off.
We know we gonna get a lot of stuff for this.
Yeah.
This definitely gonna be a clip.
I will not, shall not, won't even think about having a bachelorette party or a bachelor party. None of that is happening here. Yeah. That's dead. I know we not gonna get a lot of agreements on that one.
We not.
But that's fine, because this is our relationship,
right,
and that's what we agree on, and that's the one thing that everybody needs to focus on is their own relationship.
Hello.
What you agree on with your partner may not be what we agree on, but that's what makes us especially made for each other.
Right, because he didn't have to convince me.
Yeah,
I didn't have to convince. It was one of those moments where, we just talking. And it's like, what you?
I don't even know how we even brought that up, but I know we was talking, and I was like, I'm never having a back.
And you were just like, I'm so glad you feel that way, because I was like, really? It was just random. I think I brought it up. It was just random, but
I don't know, but it definitely was the confirmation. Like, it was so many things. That's what I'm saying. Like, we agreed on so much, and we don't agree on everything.
Yeah.
But like the main things that we need to agree on,
and that most people will be like, oh, well, we done then, because I'm gonna have a bachelor party. I'm gonna have a bachelor. No, see y'all. I'm straight. I don't.
Our relationship makes sense for each other.
Yes.
And that's all that matters. You and your partner are the only two people who need to understand your relationship. Stop trying to explain to other people and try to make other people explain and be in agreement of what y'all are supposed to.
Because one thing I don't get is everybody will always give this piece of advice. Don't have people in your business. But the second you say, oh, well, we decided we don't want to do this, here they come in y'all business. So what is that?
But like, we grown.
Yeah.
This was our decision.
Hello?
We doing what's best for us.
The heck? The traditions are just that. Traditions. We make it seem like things can't. Ooh, I was about to say something. We'll say that for later. But like, we talked about a lot of stuff, y'all, that y'all just gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
I know people gonna be like, are you for real? Like, bro, you okay with that? People already call him a simp. And he has told me to my face, I don't care. I'll be that.
Because
and I will too.
Men,
what?
Boys will make another man. I don't understand this generation, because men will make another man look bad or look soft because he's simping over one woman, but it's perfectly okay for the image in everybody's eyes for a man to degrade a woman, for a man to call a woman out her name, for a man to beat on another woman and to cheat on another woman. That's okay. Yeah. But me simping over one woman and showing my love openly and publicly to one woman is an issue. What kind of world are we living in?
I don't get it.
Like, I will never fold and bend to the way that this world would expect a man, especially a black man, to be. I will never. I'm going to continue being the man that I am, because that's how I was raised, and that's what I enjoy being, is a real man. At the end, I'm gonna be the man that's gonna be winning. So while y'all be in the comments talking about simp this and watch how she gonna do you in a few years, you watch how happy we gonna be in the next 30, 40 years.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Cause no.
So
okay.
How successful we finna. You just keep watching, buddy.
And listen, the things that we were talking about this the other day, you know, like in our last video about certain things that, you know, people have in their arsenal as being women and men and those roles and things that we do. It's very easy for me to, because people love to call men simps and stuff, but it's very easy for a woman to respond to a man that is a man. It's very easy for me to be soft. It's very easy for me to be, because it's not that I was just this hard body, y'all. It's not that. But different people bring different things out of you, for sure. From the beginning, it was like, hold on. Wait a minute. First of all, I'm cheesing, because everybody said that in our the video that went viral or whatever. How I was sitting in the car, and I was just smiling, like, because that's literally it. Like, I have no problem with doing any of those things. Like, I hear myself. I do that a lot. Like, if we're talking or whatever, and I'll like listen to myself ask you a question. I think something earlier today. Yeah, I was like, what do you need? And I'm just like, hey, it kind of hit me, because I'm like, yeah, you're really like safe here for real. I know it, but it's like I will catch myself doing things that.
But no. I don't think that men understand, because men always talk about how they want a submissive woman, and how do you want a submissive woman when you're not a capable leader? And I stated this previously in the video. You, as a man, need to have a real relationship with God to be able to even lead a woman effectively. B, a woman is only going to submit, like I said, to where she feels properly led.
Yeah.
A woman is only going to be soft where she feels safe.
Yeah.
A woman is only going to be catering to a place where she's provided to. Like, if I'm not being that natural born provider as a man should be, how do I expect a woman to even cater to me? Because if she's the one providing, I need to be the one catering to her. Like, she doing all the heavy work, of the real work for real. Like, it's just, I don't know.
That's why we say, like, a lot of the stuff that people make hard is really easy for real.
It's not hard at all.
It's not. It's not.
If men,
and it's not tit for tat, because I don't want to make it seem like that. But whenever you're in position, you are gonna get what comes with that. You go to work and you do what is being asked of you. What they gonna do? You're gonna get paid. You might get a raise. Things are gonna come with that when you are in your spot. It's not about tit for tat like a lot of y'all make it. Because it's like, if he not doing this for me, well, I'm not doing that. Okay, now you're not about to get anything, because you're coming at him with the intent to only see, well, what you going to do for me. You're not even coming openly. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I did not have to ask him for the things that he should be doing. He did not have to ask me to be soft. It was just like, oh, well, I know. First of all, I don't feel like I have to protect myself from something. If you feel like that, that's a 9 times out of 10. Right, that's already a red flag. You shouldn't even be there.
That's a conversation you need to be having right off.
I don't feel safe here. I don't feel like and that's it. Let that be that. Don't try to see your way through it. Don't try to talk your way through it. That's it. Don't try to do that. But I think it's a matter of just knowing. A lot of people and I think because the aesthetic overall, everything that people talk about as far as relationships, it makes people settle, because like, I want someone so bad. It makes you desperate. You want to be a YouTube.
Don't ever want nobody that bad. That's crazy. Don't ever want somebody that bad to where you got to settle.
I'm telling you. And just to shed a little light into, because I have no problem with doing that, but I remember being in a position, of course, like we said, being previously married, and you sitting there and talking about myself, sitting there, and I'm going down a whole list of why I think I should stay in a spot where I know it's not for me. I clearly, I said it out of my mouth. This is not, no, Janae. No. going down the list. But you know what? I'm 25. I'm this, and it's been this many years, and it's been that, and it's been this situation, and we came out of that. And why am I doing all of that, knowing that I know that that's not what should be? So it's like, please just save yourself. And one thing about it, we can't get time back, and that's one thing I don't regret. I don't have regrets because I mean it brought me to this place. I wouldn't even value what I have right now as much as I do if it was not for that situation. And even being aware for myself, because you don't want to taint it. You don't want to, do all that. So it's just like, I don't have any regrets, but don't play Russian roulette when it comes to your life. Don't do it.
I'm gonna say this because we well over for the video. I'm gonna say this, and then this gonna be it. Men, if y'all want women, I'm gonna put it this way, fellas. When y'all start being men, women can be women. So when y'all want women to be submissive, y'all want them to be soft, y'all want them to be these catering human beings as they are already. The only reason they feel like they gotta be so hard and take care of business because you not taking care of business. If men start being men, women will start being women. You can't fault a woman for being the way that she is because you ain't being the person you supposed to be. You're not being a real man.
I don't know where I heard it from, but a lot of people say that women mirror what men are doing to and for them. So like if you are giving us, this hard cutthroat type stuff, whether that's, not taking care of business, you talking to us any kind of way, you doing anything, we're going to be that same thing. We're going to give back to you what you're giving to us. That's just how it is. If you want us to be soft and all right. It's not tit for tat, but it's literally just that's what it is.
Well, that's life though.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that don't pertain to is God, because you can do God however you want to do him, and then he's still going to be God. But lo and behold, you go to work and don't do your job, what's going to happen?
You're going to get fired. Literally.
So, same thing with relationships and marriage. You get into this marriage and you don't do what you're supposed to, eventually, divorce is going to happen. It's like I don't know. Don't even tie yourself into that if you're not ready to do what you need to do. Just sit back and stop wasting people's time. But
that's a good spot.
Yeah, that's a good spot to wrap this up. I'm tired, y'all. My energy just ain't been there.
Wake up.
I'm finna go get something to eat.
Yeah, we about to go get something to eat.
Who is we?
See, there he go. Cause what? Who is we?
Anyways, we hope y'all enjoyed today's video. We hope we weren't rambling too much for y'all.
No,
we did touch a lot of we did touch on a lot. So we hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel so y'all can catch the rest of our podcast episodes. We have a lot of great topics that we want to share for y'all. There will be more clips being posted. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all go follow our Instagram and TikTok at the J's Way.
Yes.
And yeah, y'all see the podcast up there. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You got anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks for watching and come back because we got a lot of good stuff for y'all. But yeah, I do actually want to say something because we kind of hit depression a little bit. I don't really take stuff like that too lightly. So I mean, if you are, I am definitely someone that is an advocate when it comes to getting therapy. I've been there. I'm going back. But I think that if you are finding yourself in a situation where you kind of teeter-tottering in your mental and emotional health, you should definitely get some therapy. Don't be, and I know and we'll talk about that. That's a whole nother different topic as well. But we kind of beat each other over the head when you in church and it's like, well, God is my therapist. All right, this ain't for you. You can end the video if that's your stance. But for the ones that actually need it, please go and I I don't know, maybe we can like link some resources somewhere. I do know of someone, if you in Michigan for sure, that I can recommend. But yeah, just to shine light on that and know that you're not by yourself if you are feeling a little depressed. And like I said, I mean, we haven't, what's the word? We're not established, or we're not that. So you can DM us if you feel like you want to like.
Just let us know. We're always here.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't perfect
you
or
got
anything,
some support.
but we've definitely been through enough to know a little something.
And if we don't have the answer, then hopefully we can find someone that will have it. But yeah.
So yeah, we're glad that y'all tuned in for this part in the video.
Yeah.
We about to wrap this up, and we will see y'all in the next episode. So yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. We'll see y'all.
For sure. Take 2.